I know these are some really dark days, some really tough times. But I gotta tell you that I am still so proud to be an American. I still think this is the greatest country on the face of the planet. I still believe what Lincoln said. We are the last best hope of Earth. And I know that every single generation preceding ours has served, has struggled, has sacrificed to bring us through to this day at this moment. And I will be damned if we're the generation that loses it. So I came here tonight, and you came here tonight because we love America, and we're gonna save America together. You with me? One of the things that sets us apart from so much of the rest of the world, and almost from the entirety of human history, is the rule of law. This foundational premise that all of us are created equal. And what flows from that is that we can all expect to be treated equally under the law. And to some degree, we still trust our government because that government is also bound by the rule of law. We can only be taxed when our elected representatives choose to tax us. I can only be stopped and detained and arrested and imprisoned if I've broken a law passed by those who've been democratically elected to make those laws in the first place. And I'm owed due process and constitutional protections before they send my ass to El Salvador. Am I right about that? And look, under the laws of this country, the only way we can make war on another country is if we, the American people, say so through our elected representatives in Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, this war that Donald Trump is waging in Iran today is an illegal war. It is an illegal war. And like all wars, we have no idea what is going to happen next. How many people we will kill. How many of our people will be killed. How many billions or trillions of dollars this will cost us over the years and decades that this war might take. And listen, folks, we still can't find the fucking money to help the veterans who've served in Iraq and Afghanistan and Vietnam, who put their lives on the line for this country. Have we learned nothing? If this were the right thing to do, the American people would say so, but you never got a chance because this president chose to break the law, to deliver death and destruction, and perhaps welcome it into the United States as well. So we cannot be silent. We must raise our voices. We must stand to be counted at this moment of truth. We cannot be complicit in yet another American tragedy. We must stop this illegal war. That much is true. That much is true, but so is this. We cannot simply define ourselves by what we are against. If we have any hope of winning political power in Texas, of winning political power in the United States of America, we must be able to tell ourselves, our friends, our families, our fellow Americans, just what it is we are for. How we're going to help those who are hurting. How we're going to right the wrongs that have been committed. It's not enough to say this person screwed you or this person screwed up. We have to also say how we're going to fix a system that has so badly failed almost every American except the wealthiest and the most powerful in this country. So imagine this. Let me paint a picture of the future. Imagine this. A world where the United States does not turn its back on its allies and its friends around the world, but instead works with them to pursue peace, to stop these wars and not to start new ones, that takes seriously this issue of nuclear proliferation in Iran or anywhere else that there is a threat, but that goes beyond that and says, look, why do we have to fear nuclear annihilation in the first place? Why does a madman like Vladimir Putin or Donald Trump, for that matter, have the power to wipe humanity off this planet? What about a nuclear arms-free future for this country and every human on the planet going forward? And what if, in the future, we really stood for human rights and self-determination of the people of the world? What if, just hear me, this is crazy. What if the United States were no longer complicit in the slaughtering of tens of thousands of children and families in Gaza? What if we used our extraordinary power to convene the countries of this world to ensure that there's a sovereign, independent state for the Palestinian people? And that we work for the safety and the security of all in that region, Israelis, Palestinians, everyone. And what if we brought that same logic back home? And you no longer had to fear a plainclothes federal agent without a badge or without a warrant sweeping you off the streets to detain you, to send you to jail for life in El Salvador? And what if we followed that by rewriting our immigration laws in our own image, with our own values? If you want to come here and work and make this a better country, there should be a safe, legal, orderly path for you to do that. And listen, once and for all, we legalize dreamers, we legalize their parents, we legalize every working American who makes this country great, even greater as U.S. citizens. And what if, here in Texas, where it is harder to cast a ballot and harder to register to vote than any other state in the union, what if in the future we lived in a real democracy, where when you have a badass county commissioner like Elisa Simmons, who fairly won her county commissioner's district, even though it was a competitive one, who is now being drawn out of that very district by the modern age Jim Crow thugs on that commissioner's court? What if in the future we had a real democracy where no longer do the politicians pick their voters, it's the other way around? Not only do we have online voter registration, but same-day voter registration and automatic voter registration. We get big money out of politics, no more political action committees, no more corporations. And try this one on for size. What if we replaced Confederate Heroes Day as a state holiday with Election Day as a state holiday in the state of Texas? You with me? For all the teachers, the educators, the administrators, the people who make the future possible, imagine a Texas where you're not working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet, where you don't have a governor who's stealing whatever resources remain in your school to funnel them to private schools in this voucher scheme and scandal that he's foisted on this state. What if every working Texan, including teachers, only had to work 1 job and had time to spend with their kids or watch a movie or go to an old 97s concert when they got the time? What if we stopped shoveling trillions of dollars to the wealthiest and most powerful in this country, and instead use it on things that we really need, building millions of homes for people who need it across Texas and across this country, trillions of dollars to fight and cure cancer, trillions of dollars to combat climate change so that our human species can survive generation after generation after generation. We have the resources, we have the power, but until now we have lacked the political will. And lastly, what if, just what if, we had a Democratic Party that fought, and I mean fought, for every single one of these things? They didn't roll over, they didn't bend over, they didn't play dead, they didn't make deals and bargains with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, but they fought for us, every single one of us, regardless of who we are or where we live. Not in 7 swing states, but in Alabama, in Mississippi, in Texas. You and me together can make this happen. And I'm here to tell you, we need a united front, the broadest possible coalition. So, if you voted for Donald Trump, we are glad that you came. We are glad that you came. You are welcome in this coalition. Same if you voted for Kamala Harris. And look, if you voted for Bernie Sanders, you were right all along. But But to realize this future, we need action from all of us, and we need it right now. If you see a protest, please show up and join it. If you don't see one, start one on your own. This stuff is breaking through. It's changing public perception. It's applying political pressure on those in these positions of public trust, and we need more of it. If you haven't decided yet that you're going to run for office, make that decision now. Run for every single position on the ballot, every county in the state, all 254 of them. We got to keep the faith. We got to keep up the fight. We got to match this vision with the action necessary to see it through. Are you all with me? Are we together? Are we going to fight? Are we going to win?